Hey everybody, BB here, and welcome back to the channel. Ever wondered what makes a chicken different from a dog? I mean, besides the obvious stuff, one's covered in feathers, the other fur, one lays eggs, the other, well, let's just say they don't. We're going deep today, diving into the fascinating differences between these two animals, from their quirky habits to their surprising roles in human history. Buckle up, folks, it's going to be a wild ride. Alright, let's start with the basics. Chickens, as we all know, are those delightful creatures rocking the feathery fashion statement. They strut around with their wings tucked in, pecking at the ground and occasionally letting out a good balk for good measure. And then there's dogs, man's best friend, covered in fur, wagging their tails like they're trying to take flight. They're always up for a good belly rub, a game of fetch, or just hanging out on the couch with their humans. Now, chickens, they're all about those eggs. It's like their biological imperative: lay eggs, hatch chicks, repeat. They don't mess around with live births. Dogs, on the other hand, well, let's just say they're a little more hands-on in the parenting department. Puppies are adorable, I'll give them that, but they're a lot of work. And have you ever noticed how chickens use their beaks for everything? Eating, drinking, grooming, building nests. It's like a multi-purpose tool they carry around. Dogs, they got those chompers, those pearly whites for gnawing on bones, playing tug-of-war and giving you those slobbery kisses you can't help but love. But here's the thing about chickens. They're not exactly known for their problem-solving skills. You ever see a chicken escape from a pen and think, wow, that bird's a genius? Yeah, me neither. Dogs, though, they can be crafty. They learn tricks, they figure out how to open doors, some even know how to help their humans in incredible ways. So, while both chickens and dogs are fascinating creatures in their own right, they're about as different as well. A chicken and a dog. Let's talk real estate, shall we? Chickens, they're pretty low maintenance when it comes to housing. Give them a coop, a little outdoor space to peck around in, and they're pretty much set. They don't need fancy furniture or walk-in closets. Dogs, on the other hand, they've come to expect a certain standard of living. They've infiltrated our homes, our hearts, and our furniture. You'll find them curled up on the couch, hogging the bed and leaving their toys scattered all over the floor. But hey, that's part of their charm, right? Now, some dogs, they're perfectly content lounging around the house all day, but others, they need their space, their freedom. They're the adventurers, the explorers, the ones who would rather chase squirrels in the park than watch TV. Chickens, they're not really known for their wanderlust. They're homebodies at heart, content to stick to their routines and their pecking order. And speaking of pecking order, let's just say things can get a little tense in the coop. There's always a top chicken calling the shots, and everyone else knows their place. Dogs, they can be hierarchical too, but they're also pack animals, loyal to their family, whether they're furry or not. So, whether it's a cozy coop or a sprawling suburban home, chickens and dogs have found their niche in the world of real estate. Alright, let's talk food, folks. Chickens, they're not exactly picky eaters. They're omnivores, which means they'll pretty much eat anything you put in front of them. Grains, insects, the occasional lizard, you name it, they'll give it a peck. Dogs, they like to think of themselves as carnivores, top of the food chain and all that. But let's be real, most dogs would sell their souls for a slice of pizza crust. They're scavengers at heart, always on the lookout for a tasty morsel, whether it's a dropped piece of kibble or a forgotten sandwich crust under the couch. But here's the thing about dogs, they're not exactly known for their self-control. Leave a plate of food unattended, and it's gone faster than you can say walkies. Chickens, they're a little more civilized in their eating habits. They might squabble over a particularly juicy worm, but they're not going to inhale an entire bowl of food in one go. And let's not forget the eggs. Chickens provide us with one of nature's most versatile and delicious foods. Dogs, well, they give us unconditional love, which is pretty great, but it doesn't make for a very satisfying breakfast. So, whether it's a diet of grains and insects or kibble and table scraps, chickens and dogs have evolved to thrive on their respective menus. Let's dive into the social lives of our feathered and furry friends, shall we? Chickens, they operate on a strict hierarchy, a pecking order, if you will. The top chicken rules the roost, literally, and everyone else knows their place. It's a system that's worked for them for centuries, and they're not about to change it now. Dogs, on the other hand, they're pack animals, loyal to their family, whether they're furry or not. They thrive on companionship, love to play, and will shower you with affection, whether you deserve it or not. But don't mistake their love for weakness. Dogs can be protective of their pack, and they won't hesitate to defend their loved ones if they sense danger. Chickens, they're more into self-preservation. If there's a threat, they're more likely to scatter and squawk than stand their ground. But hey, different strokes for different folks, right? Now, both chickens and dogs have their own ways of communicating. Chickens cluck, squawk, and even purr when they're content. Dogs, they bark, growl, whine, and howl, a whole symphony of sounds that can drive you crazy or melt your heart, depending on the day. But one thing's for sure, both chickens and dogs have mastered the art of getting their needs met, whether it's through a well-timed peck or a strategically placed paw. Let's face it, chickens and dogs have played very different roles in human history. Chickens, they're the unsung heroes of breakfast, the providers of omelettes and frittatas. They've been a source of food for centuries. Their eggs and meat, a staple in cultures around the world. Dogs, on the other hand, they've wormed their way into our hearts and homes, becoming our companions, our confidants, our furry best friends. They're the welcome committee at the door, the warm bodies curled up at our feet, the furry therapists who listen without judgment. But dogs are more than just pets. They're working animals too, serving alongside law enforcement, assisting people with disabilities, and providing comfort and support to those in need. Chickens, well, they're not exactly known for their heroism. You don't see a lot of chicken guide dogs or chicken search and rescue teams. But that's okay. They excel at what they do, providing us with delicious and nutritious food. And let's be honest, who doesn't love a good plate of fried chicken? So while chickens may rule the roost when it comes to breakfast, dogs have definitely earned their place as man's best friend. They've become an integral part of our families and our society, and we wouldn't have it any other way. So there you have it, folks, the real difference between chickens and dogs. They're both amazing animals in their own right, each with their own unique quirks and contributions to the world. If you enjoyed this feathery and furry adventure, give the video a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what surprised you the most about chickens and dogs, or if you have